Okay. All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's September 3rd, coming off of a holiday weekend, and so we're on a Tuesday. Tabled our regular meeting from yesterday, falling on the holiday. It's 1:02 p.m. I will open the meeting, and I think we have some conversation around our first agenda item and approving the agenda. It sounds like there was a lot of confusion and or perhaps issues with clarifying posting. So I believe that we might entertain punting and reposting or planning this meeting for this Thursday. Commissioners, I know there are some things on here that are a bit of a kind of consent agenda, maybe special event permit, presentation of bids with human services, maybe a community informational item, mention of manager, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just a second here. So the, let's see here. 1, 2, 3. We had 7 items on the agenda that was posted on Friday. So do you want me to share my screen and show you this agenda that was posted on Friday, Sarah? Commissioner Mudge?
Sure. I mean, I'm totally happy to postpone some of those items, and I don't think we captured everything that we'd hoped for today, but okay. Trying to look. Is it the desire of the board to reschedule our meeting for today on Thursday? There's been also a flurry of activity this morning that has kind of thrown us all in way of maybe lack of preparation for this afternoon, but
yeah, no, I definitely feel that kind of given the emergent circumstances we've all been dealing with this morning, that it would be appropriate for us to table this agenda until Thursday, if we can do that, if we can find a time on Thursday. I know that building and land use staff has spoken with the applicant for the Murphy rezone, and they are available on Thursday.
okay.
If that's an appropriate time for us to table this too. So I would be open to that if that's appropriate.
I'm open to that. I do think I think that last agenda item, I think we should have a quick discussion about how we want to handle the county manager application, because I think waiting until Thursday could delay things. Sure. But everything else I think can wait. Yeah.
With the bid openings or presentation, do we want to just do that since that's not an action item?
Which one is that, Sarah?
Actually,
it's not on the agenda that was posted on Friday.
Okay.
So
okay.
Push that to Thursday too. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm getting confused as to what I'm pulling off and if that was updated and what was previously or posted up until proper timing. So apologies for that. All right. So basically everything are we proposing, which I would be okay if we're proposing pushing everything and having a brief discussion and update on county manager events from last week and moving forward with timing.
Commissioner Mudge, this is Sheriff Reyes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I had an item brought to bring before the board, and I'm subpoenaed for court on Thursday at 1.
Okay, Amy, I don't know if I don't know what questions, but if there's anything in particular that you had wanted to share, if you could summarize that, or maybe chat with legal in prep so that we can hear.
I've spoke with legal. They suggested I bring it before you. I just want to hire a contractor, Bruce Brown, to assist, since I do not have a detective right now. And I've got some very serious cases in my office that I want him to be able to assist to get things ready for prosecution. The district attorney's office is also short investigators. And so we're really in need of having someone that can help assist with those things.
No, I understand. I think we'll look at that Thursday, but let's
I won't be
get
present.
us to have some action.
I won't be
on-
present is what I'm saying.
Okay. I'm not sure we can do much about that, but I understand that you've talked to legal, so let's just get formal action on our approval of our agenda from the board.
So this is Janine, real quick. I just am wondering if I could add to the agenda for Thursday, our bid review, because it's not on the current agenda. Does that work?
Yeah, Janine, this is Kayla. We will add the review of the bid for cybersecurity for us to discuss on Thursday.
Okay. And I just have a point of clarification. Do you want to see the matrices of each of the bids or the one that we're proposing? Or what do you need to see, since this is the first time I'm presenting during this, under this procurement process?
Janine, I was trying to look at what that is. So are you opening the bid, or are you providing a suggestion, an
Yeah.
approval, or an award?
We're providing a suggestion on the contractor. Yeah, on the award. So do
Okay,
you guys usually see all the bids or just the one we're proposing, or what do I need to present to you?
So typically, Janine, you would present to us the contractors that, all of the list of contractors that bid on that project, and then make that recommendation to us.
yeah, and we don't necessarily have to go through the matrices. That is that is backup documentation for any of the the bidders.
Okay.
Should they
Sounds
ask
good.
that? Great. Apologies for the delay. And I also,
Thursday works well for me, just so you know. Sorry. I know it's been hectic for you all, but I just wanted to let you know Thursday works for me.
okay. And also just point of clarification and how the agenda for this meeting today will lay out. I plan to offer an open public comment as well. But first, to approval of the agenda, it sounds like we will be having a brief discussion on county manager, and then moving all of our agenda items and adding to the agenda items that were intended to be on for this meeting today on to Thursday, and we should have that posted by end of day today, correct? Okay.
Yeah, I'll work to get that information that came in over the weekend put together so that we can put it out for Thursday. Do you have a time preference for Thursday, Commissioner Mudge and Commissioner Fiedler?
No, I think 1 o'clock looks like it'll work. The morning, there is a meeting most of the morning for me. Will 1 o'clock work for the both of you?
Yeah, that looks as good as anything.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then I'll entertain a motion to table items posted for today's regular meeting on the 7th to September 9th, Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. With the addition of a few other items to be posted by end of day today.
So moved.
Second,
Okay, any further discussion?
well, just to note, or I don't know if you're then going to like go back and add an agenda, but I think with the exception of that, you know, brief decision on how we want to proceed with the county manager selection.
Yeah, no, I think we can have that conversation. All right. Hearing no further comment, all those in favor? Aye. Again, apologies for that to everyone. And let's see, let me move into, do we have any community informational items to go through quickly? I see head shaking. No, okay. Oh, okay. I would like to just bring up community wildflower protection planning continues to occur. Recreation master planning has started this week with outreach to stakeholders and groups and organizing some of those meetings. It is just the beginning of that process. So I'm very excited to get that kicked off, and folks will have an opportunity to participate for sure. The Community Wildfire Protection Planning has a Forest Health Council meeting this coming Monday on the 13th. And we'll be finalizing mapping that we will then take out to the community for outreach and education, and organizing community meetings throughout October. So keep an eye out for those dates and times for the opportunity to provide your input as a community member. Other than that, I don't have anything, and I'll move on unless my commissioners have thought of something. Okay. Any commissioner clarifications? I have none.
None for me, thank you.
None for me.
Okay. And then public items, public comment on items not on the agenda. Does anybody have any public comment? I see Jamie Cipher raise her hand. Go ahead, Jamie.
Thank you, Commissioner Mudge. Thanks to the commissioners for being here. And I just want to say, I know you're working super hard and there's a bunch of stuff happening. I'm Jamie Cipher. I live at 1300 Harrison. I just wanted to come before you today to say, frankly, I'm a little bit embarrassed with how our county is presenting itself online. I'm an engaged citizen trying to find some information, and just bumping around lakecountycode.com found incredibly outdated election information. Amongst other things, the ballot drop-off information was from 2016. The sample ballot was from 2017. It still says Shannon Kent is our coroner. These all, to me, seem like very easy things to update. And with the election being less than 2 months away, it seems imperative that we are providing accurate and timely information to our community if what we're trying to do is encouraging citizen engagement. If we're not, okay. But if we are, I believe all of you want everybody to be able to vote and have some information. On top of that, you know, I saw also that the meeting minutes have been posted, except that they're in the format of recorded YouTube videos. And I don't think that hours-long videos equal meeting minutes. Again, for somebody who is wanting to engage and wanting to learn more about the process, I don't have the time to go and watch a whole full meeting, and that's what I think minutes are for. So I don't know exactly who's in charge of that, and I know I've brought this before the board before, but just again would like to ask that for the sake of our engaged and very busy citizens, that in addition to having video recordings of the stuff that happens for posterity's sake, we have some distillation, some notes, some minutes that are available for public consumption. So again, I know you're all working super hard and I appreciate that. And a lot of these things seem like very easy wins that could be accomplished very easily. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jamie. Also, a lot of conversation perhaps to have with the clerk. You mentioned elections and posting of minutes and whatnot. So another avenue to kind of reach out and get insight on from the clerk's office as well, but we are working on that. I know you brought that to us before on some of those topics, so thank you. Any other public comment on items that are not on the agenda? I'm not seeing any requests. Okay. Not seeing any other public desiring to make comments. We will touch on the conversation on project, or sorry, not project manager, county manager updates from events going on last week, and then what the rest of the process looks like. Commissioner Fiedler, do you want to give us an update on success from last week?
Yeah, and maybe just I think the update is that the two posted finalists, and by posted, we have their names and resumes and background were up on the website. They were in Lake County for pretty much 2 days by the time they arrived, and around during that time, they met or had opportunities to meet with department directors, with the 3 county commissioners, with other elected officials. If they chose, they did a tour of the county and also a tour of some of the county facilities, and then had a afternoon, evening sort of community meet and greet at Treeline. So a lot of opportunities for different people in the community to meet with the 2 candidates, and it went well, I think, in terms of serving its purpose of giving everyone a chance to chat with and ask questions and see how the 2 candidates stacked up.
Yeah, I agree. A big thanks to you and Hannah in HR and others who helped in the logistics and organizing all of that. It felt like a really great open opportunity. And it was nice to meet the finalists.
Yeah. I can move on into sort of next steps and what, I think, or lay out what I think are the 2 options for how we actually make a decision. First of all, I think the decision lies with the 3 of us as commissioners to, as this will be a direct report to us. And certainly, taking all the feedback we get from staff and community members, but I think the final decision's up to us. My understanding is, we need to sort of announce that in a posted open meeting of the BOCC. So I think the question is how we get there. I see 2 choices. One is the 3 of us could individually talk to the human resources manager, Hannah Wall, and Hannah could bring us a recommendation based on those discussions individually. Or I think we could go into executive session to discuss that kind of personnel matter amongst ourselves, not make a decision in executive session, but we could discuss, our, how the candidates stack up against the posted criteria, and then come out of executive session, into that open session to make a decision. So I think those are the 2 routes that sort of protect the confidentiality of that discussion, on a detailed personnel matter, but then come into open session for our decision. I'll just say, I think my personal preference would be to go into executive session with the 3 of us so that we can have an open discussion, so the 3 of us can discuss it, rather than kind of have like one-on-ones with Hannah that she would have to kind of try to synthesize. I think we'll understand where the 3 of us are coming from better if we have that executive session. But I think those are the 2 choices that are sort of the right procedures to get to where we need to get to.
Okay. Do you have a timeline for when you would want to do, if we were to hold an executive session, do you have a timeline for when you would want us to do that? I would expect it to be maybe at the end of this week, early next week, so that we could make that selection relatively quickly.
Yeah, I mean, before we had moved everything to Thursday, I was sort of hoping we could do it Thursday. I don't know if we can still fit that in a shortened and busy week. And I think it would be awesome if we could craft an offer and let the preferred candidate know by the end of this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could definitely add that to the agenda for Thursday. And also a point of clarification, I'm sorry, Hannah or legal is not on here, but I would imagine that we
Oh.
might be able to have that conversation, unless I'm missing them on here, have that conversation and share perspective as the board, but not come out and announce our hire. That seems a little tricky before making an offer and having an accepted offer. So I just want to maybe provide some clarity on that expectation coming out of that. And
Yeah, and I can say, sorry, I also just, thanks for pointing out that kind of legal is. I can vet and get 100% certain on exactly how we should do this with legal before we take any actual steps.
Okay. Well, does it work? It sounds like it might work enough to just agree to put that on the agenda for Thursday. You can vet that with HR and legal, and we can figure out exactly what we can hear. Each of us individually can get kind of directive on the process from HR, and then we can adjust the agenda if that's not kind of how it's going to unroll.
Yeah. So I think if as long as we post it with that intent to go into executive session, and I think, and maybe I didn't state it clearly, but I think I agree with what you said. I mean, we go into executive session to, hear advice from staff, so which could include feedback that Hannah has gathered from, from staff and community members. We would hear that in confidence. We would discuss it, but not. You don't make a decision in executive session. That's just an opportunity to hear information that needs to be kept confidential.
Right.
Do you want me to reach out to legal while I'm updating the agenda to ask for the proper language to put that on there for Thursday? And we can put it at the end of our agenda, perhaps?
That sounds great.
Okay, will do.
Thank you. And Commissioner Fiedler, we do hope to get and offered and asked for feedback on the finalists from anyone and everyone by end of day tomorrow, correct? Wednesday, the 6th?
Yeah, and we might have said noon. We might have said noon on Wednesday in some communication out, just to give us sort of a chance to absorb that before a session on Thursday rather than be scrambling Thursday morning.
Great. All right. Well, we can, we can remind folks or anybody here remember to kind of broadcast that out and solicit some feedback. Other than that, I think we have that's another addition to the agenda for Thursday. And I think that concludes our meeting and our conversation this afternoon. Again, apologies for the posting confusion to everybody, and thanks for working to be sure that we can put those on Thursday's agenda. All right. Okay. All right. If there's no further comment or items, not seeing any from the board.
Nothing for me.
All right. Thanks. I think we will adjourn at 1:26 then. Thank you very much.